Greetings and welcome to our series of weekly devotionals. This week we're taking a look at a passage in the book of Numbers, a story of Moses dealing with the complaining, weeping rabble of the people of Israel as they are out in the desert wandering around and looking for food and drink. A friend of mine is often heard complaining about people in our society who are, for example, on welfare or disability, people that he feels don't deserve a free lunch, so to speak, and they should be working. He complains when people get unemployment benefits, and we're supporting these people that are too lazy to work. That kind of sentiment. But this guy is he's the first one to go and help somebody in the church community if someone is in need or suffers some kind of misfortune. He's the first to ask, can we get some food together? Bring a meal, bring a covered dish to this person. How can we help? So I guess in his mind, certain people are worthy of feeding and helping, and maybe certain people aren't. I mention this because of this verse that struck me in this passage. Moses talking about the people of Israel. Where am I to get meat to give to all this people? For they come weeping to me and say, give us meat to eat. If this is the way you're going to treat me, Lord, put me to death at once. Moses is all beside himself having to deal with this people. A few years ago, I was helping out at this mission project. We were handing out free lunches to people in need in the Nazareth area. And it was in conjunction with another church, and there were a couple of people with me handing out. We had tons of bagged lunches, and people would just drive up, and we would ask, how many do you need? And they would tell us, and we would give them the lunches. And it was very gratifying experience. And I remember this one guy. He would give everybody the third degree about who they needed the lunches for. I remember him grilling this 10-year-old kid. He asked the kid, how many lunches do you need? And the kid would say, 4. And then he asked, well, who do you need the lunches for? And he said, well, me and my mom and my brother and my uncle. And the guy said, well, who's your uncle? Does he live with you? And the kid said, well, yeah. Well, does he have a job? I think so. Well, doesn't the uncle have food at home? I don't know. And on this guy went. Is the uncle your mom's brother or your mom's brother-in-law? The kid's like, And I felt so bad for this kid. I felt like saying to the guy, my God, it's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and an apple. Just give the kid a lunch, for crying out loud. And after giving him the third degree of this 10-minute long interrogation, he handed over the lunches. I think that's indicative of how we are sometimes with wanting to help. We want to make sure people deserve our outreach and our efforts. I remember hearing this story about a food pantry in Allentown. And the guy who organized the food pantry, who ran it every weekend, he said something that I believe in and I think is true. He said, we don't judge people. He said, I don't worry about where they're at or what they're doing or if they're trying to take us over. He said, we have one requirement to sign up for our food pantry, one requirement, and that's you're hungry. And I think that's a good lesson for us and maybe for Moses too in this passage. Now, we're not called to judge. We're called to feed, to help, to serve, and leave the rest to God. Amen.